Yes. What is up?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, just excited about finishing this off. I mean, not excited about finishing it off because, you know what I mean? I've had fun doing it. We bounce back and forth on the channels, but I've been looking forward to doing this watch along because we always had really good conversation when it comes to George Romero.
Yeah, man. And I mean, the fact that, we've had a chance to watch all three of these movies, the original three,
Right.
it's been fun, man. It really has. Each movie has so much going on. And this movie in particular, and we've talked a little bit about this off of air, but this one wasn't as well received as George wanted it to be. And
Right.
it seems like in the last, whatever it's been, 15 years or so, maybe 20, it's slowly started to get the respect and credit that it deserves because it's some fantastic stuff in Day of the Dead. It really
Yeah,
is.
I've actually heard people a lot lately refer to this one as their favorite, and I never thought I would ever hear that.
Yeah. Yes.
We've got
It's
Ninja
true. It's true.
saying hello, hello. Patrick, boo. Okay. What's up, Patrick? What,
Boo.
what's up, Ginja? How you guys doing? How's everything in Australia tonight? Or is it day right now? He said it's like 10 hours back. So,
Mm.
but yeah, man. Which so far out of the two that we did was a favorite one that you did? Well, it was kind of different. The Night of the Living Dead we did. We kind of discussed it, and then we kind of skimmed through it and found and discussed it, and then the Dawn of the Dead was actually a watch along.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, man. This is it'll be fun to do this one because I think there's a lot to talk about in this movie. You know what I mean? As far as just it's so different from Dawn and Night. You know what I mean? And for a lot of people, this was a really much more serious and darker tone to it, which I will admit, as a kid when I first saw it, it was a lot different than what I was expecting, and that kind of threw me off at first because I was really
Yeah,
kind of in that Dawn of the Dead mode. You know what I mean? But this is so different than Dawn of the Dead.
yeah. He'd expected this to be epic. He'd expected. I mean, he wanted to spend millions on this and make it somewhere between this one and Land is kind of what he had the idea for this one. But by the
Yes.
time he got it all financed and everything, and what it was a budget rate versus ratings thing. In order to do what he wanted to do and spend that in order to spend that much money, or even the amount of money they spent, they wouldn't allow it to be underrated because they was afraid they wouldn't get their money back from the box office.
Right. Yeah,
I
man. I
tried to go
mean,
see this and I couldn't. They would not let me in. They wouldn't let anyone under 18, even with a parent, in to see this. So,
oh wow.
so I ended up seeing Return instead, which I'm very glad. But yeah, I didn't
Right.
get to see this at the theater. They would not allow anyone under 18, no matter what.
That's crazy, man. That is crazy. And of course, Return of the Living Dead, such a stark contrast to this, because with Return, there's so much fun and
Hmm.
so forth with it.
This, Savini always said that the Prowler was his favorite effects. I think this is Savini's best one.
Yeah.
But you're saying David Dead always had a cult status. Oh yeah, they always do. But I mean, back in the day, just like Knight was saying, 10, 15 years ago, you didn't hear anybody saying that this was their favorite. Now you got a lot of people saying it.
No. Yeah.
Prism in the chat. I've risen from the dead. Cool. Thanks for joining us. 1400. What is 14?
2 o'clock.
Yeah, there you go. Night on it. 32 Gregory really pushed this film in its coverage. Prism saying hello. Popping the Popcorn in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Popping the Popcorn will be with me next Monday, and we'll be doing the anthology Trick or Treat at a watch along.
Nice.
Prism of Return for the favorite trilogy. Hell yeah, I completely agree. Saying hello. This one is really apocalyptic vibe. Yeah, like I said, he wanted to spend many more millions, but he just wasn't able to.
Right. Yeah.
But really enjoyed Land of the Dead. That's one I might go into also because it does have its really good points to it.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, we
But
also we also talked about even survival, had some interesting things.
yeah, yeah. I think the acting suffered a little bit more than some of the others.
Yeah.
He got lucky with that. Echo Zero in the chat. Thanks to everybody for coming in. Don't forget to hit that like, hit that bell if you want to see some more of my crazy bullshit. No telling what I'm going to be doing. But hit the bell if you want to be notified about it. Also, hit the bell for Night. I'm sure everybody already is. And Night's quite a popular fellow. Does excellent work. Excellent work. Works his ass off.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Definitely one of my favorites. Always have been. No problem, man. All right. If everybody is if everybody's ready, I got some things to show off afterward. But if everybody's ready, I'm going to count down from 5, and I'm going to start this up. If everybody's ready, let me know. Whoever's going to join us, we're going to kick some ass into you know, another one of those. To me, this is put kind of like not quite the Exorcist 3 type category where it wasn't appreciated. I mean, it's appreciated a little bit more than that. But I think it was looked at kind of like as the redheaded stepchild of the trilogy for a long time.
Yes. Yes. I agree, man.
All right, here we go. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see if we're on the same page here. All right, it just showed her sitting in the room.
Yep. Yep.
United Film Distribution.
Yep, I'm right with you.
Cool.
I love this opening too, man. You know, like when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell's going on here?
It's like an OG jump scare, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Eric in the chat. Vacation next week, so we can maybe set up a watch along. Awesome. Been trying. Eric's a pretty busy dude too. Won't be a problem staying up late. Hit me up. We'll pick a night. Awesome, man. Awesome. Because I got several that I want to do. We talked about Return of the Living Dead. I'm wanting to do that. And of course, you know I'm going to do Halloween '78 sometime this month. But that's kind of a project in the works right now.
And I love the music, man. It's like, what's going on, you know?
That is Lori Cardell. She's the daughter of Cardell from Night of the Living Dead. The one.
Yes.
Bill Cardell, I do believe is his name.
Yep, he was in Night of the Living Dead.
He was the one out there with the microphone talking to everybody. He actually had a radio show.
Look how dead it looks there. Wow.
I love how he always picks people that you've never seen before, but they always end up doing a kick-ass job. You know what I mean? That's
yes.
Like I'd never seen any of these dudes. I mean, maybe Joe Pilato, but I'd never seen anybody else. I'd never seen him, and they're all good.
Right. Like right off the bat, you get a sense of how bad this apocalypse is and how desperate they are.
Oh yeah. The town is just, I mean, all the cities are literally taken over to the point to where it's been so long since living people have been in these cities that there's literally animals and alligators and all kinds of shit running around just going in and out of the buildings. Yep. It takes a while for wild animals to do that.
That's right.
Because they're not exactly thrilled with us, these wild animals are. So they got to know we're not around there. And I think it's weird how they don't mind being around the zombies.
That's right. I used to think about that too.
They can just feel it. They can just tell the difference. That's not people. Maybe it's because they don't feel like eating them because the flesh is dead. Maybe that's the difference. They don't smell the same because animals don't smell everything.
That could be it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I mean, this is Florida, maybe. I don't remember, but I do believe it's Florida. She does such a good job. She's a little underrated in her job as a heroine or final girl type role too.
Yeah, I agree.
I think she mixes a good amount of Barbara from the original Night of the Living Dead and Barbara from the remake, and even some Dawn.
Yep.
She's got a good combination.
Special makeup effects, Tom Savini.
always kept pretty much a lot of his same crew together.
Hmm.
Basically, his friends. These are friends projects.
Yep.
But I did always wonder why Argento didn't get involved in this one too. You know, it just seems like that they were working together a lot. It just seems like that's something that would have been a natural progression.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's a good point. I wonder why he didn't.
I mean, Walker was saying, "Night is awesome." We're gonna end up giving him a big old head, and he's gonna have to put himself before we get done praising him.
No. Katie is all right.
No, you just appreciate it for all your hard work, man. You're relentless. You know what I mean? So
No.
it's just appreciation and respect, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it too.
This is I think Bub is some of the best acting in the whole. Absolutely great point. I love that.
Yes,
To
I
me, he's
agree.
right up there with Karloff's Frankenstein. I think he does that well.
Yeah, he does.
I
Look at the
also have a theory with
mouth.
this one.
That's
That's Doctor.
crazy.
That's Doctor Tongue, is what they
Yeah.
call him.
That still looks fantastic, friggin' 30, 35 years later or whatever it is. It's crazy.
And that really is the test, isn't it? You know what I mean? With time, if you look at something that went on 20 years, 20, 30 years ago, and you go, oh man, man, you know.
Hmm.
But if it ages well, you hit your mark.
Yep.
I have a figure of that Doctor Tongue also.
That's cool, man.
It looks awesome. Like I say, I'll show that after real quick.
The zombies, they look fantastic, man. All the makeup and prosthetics and everything looks great.
Little less blue than Dawn of the Dead. So he learned a lesson there that it didn't come through the camera quite the same as he was seeing it for that pancake makeup.
Right.
And he still bitches about that to this day.
Yep. It's a dead place.
I, I heard you just said Return of the Living Dead. That would be perfect. Let me know. Cool. He said, both you fools have a great watch along. Got to get to bed. Work in the morning. Take care.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Eric.
Thanks a lot for stopping by, man. Appreciate it.
And see the look on Miguel's face as soon as he starts running. I'm just like, you get a sense of how bad this is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He kind of come. You know, I mean, I'm not sure if he was, a brave sort to begin with or cowardly to begin with, but he just got to the point where he is just broken now. You know what I mean? He just
Yes.
we really don't know how he was before, but
Yep.
Echo says that her dad was in Day of the Dead as an extra.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I might have heard something about that. But Mason Bub, hell yeah, that dude's a hell of an actor. I actually seen
Yep.
him in an episode of, I think it was Seinfeld. No, it wasn't Seinfeld. I can't remember. Two remakes were not as good. I only seen one of the remakes. I seen that very first one where it kind of focuses on that Bub character type dude, and you know what I
Hmm.
mean? He kind of
Yep. I saw that one.
where they run and shit. Yeah. Yes, that's one of my biggest problems with the Land of the Dead. It's not just CGI; it's just the CGI looks kind of crappy in certain parts.
Yep.
Like when I think his head gets cut off and the hat falls back down on there or something.
Hmm.
He said he looked it up. Laurie Cardell's dad is in Day of the Dead. He is an uncredited extra. Plays one of the zombies that you see at the end.
And there's Greg Nicotero.
Yeah, it's very young. He didn't even have the ponytail yet.
Yeah, look at him right there.
This was his first job with Savini, I think, because he started that little thing with his friends, that little side thing, and they did Evil Dead 2,
Hmm.
a couple other things, and then Savini liked his work, so he hired him to come in here.
What a great career he's had too, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you like he was talented to begin with, obviously, and they had, like I
Hmm.
said, they had that team, and then Savini handpicks you to mentor you. That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally the modern day. He's the guy nowadays. He's for the last several years, especially the work he's done on Walking Dead and Creep
Oh,
Show
man.
and all these things, man. He's the man now.
Walking Dead, the beginning was kind of like his baby.
Yeah.
He was definitely a big part of the creation.
Yep.
I remember seeing that first episode of that, man. I was just blown away by some of the shit. Like the little girl, she turns around
Yep.
there, and it's like I was like, wow.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
I thought they killed off the Shane character a little too soon. I'd like to have seen that storyline drag on a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Because that dude just did a really good job. It just come off really good. He wanted he wanted his wife and kid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Turned into not such a good guy.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Then he played Punisher, I think, didn't
Yeah, he did. Yeah, John Bernthal.
he? Yes. Like him in Wolf of Wall Street too.
Mm. And right at this point, just with these conversations they're having with each other and the frustration, you can already tell this is where this story is probably gonna go. And it's like, wow, like how sad is it, because they're still alive and they have, supplies and so forth and so forth, but they're just basically like blowing up from the inside out within their
Right.
own group, you know?
And then within the group, you got your own little circles, your own little cliques. You know what I mean? You got the military guys, and you got the doctor and what he's doing, and then she's with him. They're kind of a couple,
Yep.
but he's kind of flipping out. So it's getting to where she really doesn't have much of anybody really to lean on or talk to.
Hmm.
So you see her break down. You know what I mean? It's like she's strong, and then there's that one point where she's just like, because she just has no one, because her support is just went batshit crazy.
Yep.
Going there anyway. Like I feel zero support coming from that dude.
That's right.
He needs the shoulder. You know what I mean? You can't be on his shoulder,
Hmm.
and he gets no respect from anybody. It's just because these guys are just major throbbing dicks, man.
Yep.
They're not just dicks; they're throbbing dicks.
Hmm.
That one main dude there with the beard. I can't remember what's his name.
Steel.
It's Steel. He does a loud, obnoxious Southern boy. You can just feel it.
Yep.
Something negative to say about everything.
Man, they really they had a lot of issues down in here when they were shooting because they were really in this mine shaft, and it was
Yes.
a lot of unhealthy conditions and people with allergies and getting sick and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it turns into kind of a cave, so they actually had those bats and all that shit down there too.
Hmm.
I was really surprised with the story of this that they didn't get into any kind of Last House on the Left type dirty stuff where they were trying to since she's the only woman down there, you know what I mean? They didn't go there, and I kind of
Right.
like it. I
Yep.
kind of appreciated that.
Yep.
But to me, that would not have fed the story. It would not have made it any better. It would have taken from it.
Right. Yep.
Could have, but he didn't.
That's right.
It's just if this was Craven or maybe a couple other people, he might have hinted at it.
Yep.
To the point to where their only joy is trying to antagonize.
That's right.
They've seen him so much that they're actually having fun with him.
Yeah. And it also shows that it's almost like, what are they truly living for? And that's that's to me the true horror of zombie movies done right. It's like, it's a numbers game. And at some point, if you are a survivor and it's only a couple of you and there's no society, what is going to motivate you every day to get up? What are you living for?
Yeah, that was kind of the feel of like Dawn of the Dead. Like how
Yep.
they had the original, he killed himself and she jumps into the blades because she just doesn't see any future.
Mm-hmm.
But they take off there. I kind of get the idea they're going to some kind of island or something, maybe try to start repopulating, try to do something about it.
Yep.
But at this point, you really don't stand much of a chance of that,
That's right.
especially now because this is far beyond what it was at dawn.
Yep.
Like as far as they know, they're the only people still alive.
Yeah, and how scary is that, man? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you really get a sense of that fear as this movie goes on, you know?
yeah. You feel like they've been together down there for at least a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they point to where they know each other well enough to know, she knows she doesn't like them. They know that
Mm-hmm.
her and her boyfriend are an annoyance, and they pick on him and mess with him.
That's right.
I get might be my only fault, but I think maybe we talked about it before. I think maybe the military guys might push that arrogance and push that a little farther than what I like.
Yeah.
They're a little too vulgar with it.
Yeah, yeah. Very what's the word? Just really over the top, super over the top, you know?
And just vulgar, man.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost like you sit there and you think to yourself, really the last bit of the military, like nobody's decent, you know?
Right. Yeah.
It's
Well,
like what the heck? You know?
a couple of guys that are kind of stay off by themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the pilot, and then you got the other dude. They're like some of the most decent people. The doctor,
Right.
he was decent, but I think it started to get to him too.
That's right.
Military basically doing that and bullying because they can,
That's right.
and I think that is like that's where you see what kind of human being you got. Is if you got the
Hmm.
opportunity and you can be a jerk and bully people, and you do, that kind of shows what you're all about.
Right.
But if you can and you don't, same thing. It shows what kind of person you are inside.
Hmm.
But it's almost like, I mean, you can almost excuse them, man, because they're so stressed. You know what I mean? And each person deals with things differently.
Yep.
It's almost like they may have been nicer people, but it's just gotten so bad that that's the only way they can express themselves. You know what I mean? They're
Mm.
just so, you know,
Yep.
so you know what I mean? Like Steele might have been, he might have been all right,
Right.
but now he's just doesn't matter. Like you said, why are they even still living for it unless they have a
Hmm.
plan?
Yep.
Miro does a good
Mm.
job of making you feel sorry for the zombies too. You know what I mean? Making you feel
Yeah.
bad for how they're being treated.
That's right.
Because in these, they're actually starting to show a little more emotion. Like she's actually upset, man.
Hmm.
She's gonna break
Oh,
into tears. She's gonna keep
here we
him
go.
hooked up.
He has lost it.
Yeah, he's definitely not made for that world.
That's right.
It's kind of hard to judge him because none of us know what we'd be like in that. I'd like to think I'd be stronger and be
Right.
decent, but
But again, like, I mean, think about people, during the early part of the pandemic, a lot of people that were really not doing well, man, because
mhm,
life had really just been altered so much and people had been separated so much. And, for these guys, they literally think that they're the last of a small group of humans left alive,
right.
and they're surrounded by hordes of the undead. I mean, kind of life is that?
Yeah, yeah. Just, I mean, but it comes down to it. What do you do when that happens? Do you just say hell with it, or do you just try to do your best? You know what I mean? That's
Right.
all. That's all you can do. I mean, you can't give up. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can. But,
Oh, here we go.
here he is.
Yep. Roads.
Our resident jerk
Yeah.
does such a great job. In case nobody else knows in the chat or whatever, he's in a small part of one of the cuts of Dawn of the Dead. He's one of the
Mm.
cops. I always wondered if maybe they, if they would try to tie him in, like maybe that was him earlier on, but
Yeah.
no, he was a cop, not military in that.
Right.
But does a great job in this.
Absolutely.
He's very, very proud of this role.
Mm-hmm.
Passed away, what, a year or two ago?
Yeah, I think it was like 2 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Let me turn my subtitles on.
Trying to find a cure, man.
Something, yeah. He just said, oh, I got a cure, you just blow away. All right. But curing them, we'll
Mm-mm-mm.
just wipe them out. There's millions upon millions.
That's right.
It never really explains what happens to Romero's zombies, you know what I mean? And in the long term, you know what I mean?
Right.
In Walking Dead and like 28 days later, it can show what went on later on, like after they'd been zombies or infected for a while. But
Mm-hmm.
those zombies it never really shows whether they just kind of just decay away or just, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Just little thoughts that go through my brain.
He probably wanted to. Well, I don't know. Maybe he wanted to keep it ambiguous. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to have seen a couple that had just completely deteriorated, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't last too long, especially moving around like that, you know,
That's right.
imagine the smell of a horde of them coming at you.
Mm-mm-mm.
But anyone who smelled anything dead knows what I mean.
That's
Just
right.
imagine that amplified.
Dr. Frankenstein.
I had an animal crawl underneath my house one time. I didn't realize it was an animal. You start to smell this horrible smell. Anybody that smells it knows there's only one thing in the world that smells like that.
Hmm.
Rotting flesh. And I had to get all the way underneath it. And finally I found it. And it had the whole house smelling like
Wow.
it. Something had attacked it or something. So it crawled underneath the house to try to get away from it and died under there. So that was fun.
Hmm.
It was like the third or fourth week of July. So it was real hot. You never forget it.
I bet.
Imagine if it was people and lots of people.
Right.
So not only
Uh,
they're trying to eat you, but they're also, it would help as a warning sign.
That's right. And Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This guy's pretty good too. He does a good job of. You can tell he knows what he's doing, but at the same time, he's kind of on the edge.
Yes, he is.
There he is.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Boris Karloff, but I think this guy is just his performance is right up there.
He did a hell of a job.
I would like to see him do more of it.
Yes. Wow, look at that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. It seems like this is why no one under 18 would be permitted in the theater,
Mm-hmm.
even with a parent.
Mm.
They would not let me. I was 12.
Hmm.
85, I think. Yeah, 1985. Summer 1985.
The
Smart.
Decay.
Smart motherfucker.
Yep.
Very, very, yeah. Very intelligent.
Oh man.
You get the idea that he's enjoying himself. You know what I mean? He loves that Frankenstein thing. He loves doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Hates the situation, but he loves the opportunity to get in there and play around with this and experiment. He's excited.
Yep.
Well, what do you do with millions of behaved zombies? I mean, what do? You put them in like you come up with housing for them, or I mean, what? What do you do?
Exactly.
You
I
know?
know. That's what I was thinking too. Is like, but what is that going to really accomplish?
And I mean, I suppose you get them together like a little cul-de-sac or whatever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like government housing.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie housing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the way that that's all I can think of. I lost my battle.
Can't control them.
But yeah, I'd like to say thanks again for doing all these with me and everything, man. I really appreciate it. I always enjoy working with
These are fun, man. Seriously, I love them.
you. It's your passion, and you know what I mean. It just comes through,
Yeah, man. Same with you, man.
and that's when it's fun. You know,
Yep.
is you got somebody who just really, you know what I mean. Because I know sometimes I probably come off like a little kid with it.
But that's the thing, man. Like all of us, that are really passionate about these movies, it is almost that connection, that almost like a kid type of connection because there's an excitement to it. You enjoy it. There's a fun nature to it.
Exactly.
That's the
Yeah.
great thing about horror, and being a horror fan. You know, like I've
Yeah.
seen this movie so many times. It's not even funny, but each time I see it, I can enjoy it and still, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, because there's so many different aspects you can look at it, and especially when you're watching with somebody else, especially when you're watching with
yes.
somebody you've never watched it with before, and you both know the movie really well, you both love it, you both have passion for it, and you can hear what
Hmm.
each other thinks about it, and that makes it even more interesting.
That's right.
You get many different points of view of it,
Hmm.
and you know me, you know how I am. I'll tell exactly what I think about it. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not shy.
Hmm. Yep. And see, look at that, how he kind of cowers a little bit as Bub, some great stuff, great
Showing
acting.
some real human emotion. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Real fear.
Hmm.
So that's the whole point. That's the whole point of why he's working on him because Bub shows that it inspires
Yeah.
him to keep trying.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And saying his performance is up there with Carlos with Frankenstein is, I couldn't give him a better compliment than that.
Yep.
Because I love Karloff from Lugosi and the Universal Monster.
Hmm.
I wish Lugosi would have had a little bit better chance to show it like Karloff did, but unfortunately he got blacklisted. I do believe pretty much he pissed off the wrong person. And
Hmm.
Nico says, "What are your thoughts on Night of the Living Dead 2? We'll see Terry Alexander, come back together." I don't know. Are they coming back together? Did I miss something?
That's what has been said. Um, I hope it can happen. I hope it can.
I heard a rumor maybe a year or two ago that I didn't think it was something they were actually that would be cool.
It would be.
Terry Alexander is the pilot, right?
Hmm.
Right. Been a minute since I've seen the documentary and all, which is a really good documentary, by the way, on Screen Factory. If if
Yep.
if anyone out there hasn't seen it, watch it.
Yep. All the shopping malls are closed.
Yeah, they had to throw the yeah. They throw that. They had to throw that in.
Yeah.
This guy does such a good job of playing the lead dickhead, man.
Yep.
He just revels in it too. He's like, I am the head dick now, so kiss my
Yep. You giving us a mouthful of Greek salad.
bunch of babble that he doesn't understand and doesn't care to understand.
Right, and that's the thing. You would think anyone in the military would want to understand it, or would want to respect it because at the end of the day, the brains are the ones that might be able to fix the situation, you
Right.
know? But for
Nobody.
him, he looks at it like they're worthless. It's like,
Right.
uh,
Yeah, just like a point he makes, it just blow the shit out of him. And the doctor
mhm,
says, "What, are you just going to blow the shit out of all the millions of them?
that's right.
It's not going to happen. There's not enough bullets."
Yeah.
Yeah, this is past the point of worrying about a gunshot making noise because they're everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to be quiet and kill them without a gun, because they're already there.
Hmm.
If you go up out of this place beyond that fence. That's all there is.
Yep.
Millions of hungry ass boogeymen.
Hmm. Still shoot that woman.
He's taking this as a
Hmm.
joke because he does not want to shoot her. I mean, this is a part of Steel that I like here. You can tell he
Yeah.
does not do it.
Right.
He's taking it as a joke, and he's like, "Man, I don't want to do that. I'm going to shoot this woman because we disagree."
I know. It's crazy.
That's when you got to the point of where it's a real problem.
Hmm.
Yeah. So stop being stubborn.
Hmm.
We know you're badass. They will
Right.
shoot you. It's not a joke.
Yep.
He means that shit. Rose means that.
Mm.
That see, you can tell it on her face. She just realized how serious the situation is.
Yep. And
Just realized,
John was ready to do something too.
yeah. She just realized they're basically hostages in there.
Yeah. There was going to be a war right then and there.
What respect they had for that military down there at one point they don't have now.
Right.
Now it's fear instead,
Hmm.
contempt.
This is a fucking war. Mm.
Well, I think you do maybe.
Hmm. Wow, we've lost 5 men.
I'd like to have got a scene of the guy that was in charge right before Rhodes, just to
Yeah.
see what he was all about, because I'm
Hmm.
getting the idea that Rhodes is much worse.
Yeah, and they even said that. They say we thought Cooper were bad. Cooper was bad. This guy's a lot worse.
Yeah, I'd like to know a little bit more about Cooper.
Hmm. We're in
Now
the
you
minority.
you have been. Hell, they was in a minority and Dawn did.
Hmm. 400,000 to 1. That's crazy.
So he's calculating in that there is probably some other group somewhere.
Mm.
What you're doing with my time?
I love that. I love it. I love it. I'm running this monkey farm.
Yeah, Drake. My son Brandon.
Hmm.
His favorite scene with Rhodes comes later. He just cracks him up every time. Huh. Where are you gonna go?
Yep. That's true though. Where are you gonna go? You know?
Like they wouldn't leave at all if they didn't need more supplies. You know, they would just stay cooped up down there in this big, huge basement, basically.
Yep.
Part of it's finished, part of it isn't.
Yep.
Living with bats, oh man, I hate bats. Bats freak me out.
Right?
They do. I'll scream like a little girl when a bat's flying around in the house. We'll stand up against anything, but a little bat sends me running and screaming. Ah, they're just I don't know, there's something about
Sarah knows.
it must suck being the only woman down there. Like she gets no girl interaction, man.
Right?
Yeah, that sucks bad. You'd be in fear. You know what I mean? I mean, really.
That's right. Well, and that's what the scene after this, Fisher tells her, you got to be careful. You got to look out for yourself. And that's exactly what he meant.
That's the only insinuation that they make. Yeah, that's the only time they go there.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, because it's getting to where they're in control. What the hell are they going to do now with her being the only woman? She'd need to carry a gun all the time.
That's right.
So now she's only worried about getting eaten by the zombies. Now she's got these crazies.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Equipment is hopelessly inadequate. Jeez. Mm. Wow. The operation was put together in a matter of days.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. Lucky they have this bunker that they can go in.
Mm-hmm. Weeks. Mm.
Man, what he wants to do just takes way too long.
Yep.
That's the problem with it.
Shut up.
He's wearing a wedding ring, I do believe.
Yeah.
Must be actually his, because there's a lot of actors won't take it off.
Yep.
So they're insinuating that at one time he was married. Obviously, his wife was gone. A couple of characters I'd like to know a little more about, like the Terry Alexander role. I'd like to know more about him.
Yep.
Because he's a really good character.
He is. He really is.
And that accent is completely contrived, man. It's completely fake.
Yep.
It's weird hearing him talk regular
Mm-hmm.
because he does that accent so well.
He really does. He nailed it. And he never loses it through the whole
Yeah,
movie. He holds it throughout the whole movie. Sometimes actors they can't hold the accent throughout the whole movie, but he does.
I didn't realize all these years growing up as a kid and teenager. I didn't know. I always just assumed that he was Jamaican or whatever. I heard
Mm-hmm.
him on that documentary and I was like, wow, gives you appreciation for his work.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he does electronics. I forgot about
But the rest of you.
that. Yeah, here's where he's telling her, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He means that. You better watch your ass.
And I loved it at this point, him kind of showing the way he's thinking, and then of course Sarah trying to hold this thing together.
Mm-hmm. She's in need of some bad emotional support. She doesn't have a girl for that, and her
Yep.
boyfriend, her guy, he can't give it, so she just
Man,
he
just sitting up against a wall, concrete wall. Jeez.
he can't even emotionally support himself.
Yep. Oh. Mm.
She's seen that earlier, and ever since then, that's been it really could be good, but they
Yep.
gotta get somebody that does it right. Unfortunately, George is gone now, so
Mm-hmm.
that sucks. That's one person autograph that I definitely wanted to get.
Right.
I talked to a couple of people on here that did meet him and get his autograph.
Mm.
I was like, man,
Lucky.
Gunnar Hansen, people like that.
Mm-hmm. This is where she loses it a little bit. Get out.
Mm-hmm.
She was so good in this role, though. I absolutely loved her in this role. My
Mm-hmm.
God, like amazing.
It might be, as far as Romero zombie films, it might be my favorite performance from a female in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
She's solid.
Yeah, she's very, very convincing, very, very charismatic, and my only regret is not seeing her do more after
Right.
this. But of
Yeah,
course, the movie.
she's vulnerable. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And the character's written so well for her.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good mix of what a person really would be. She's not just all hard ass, and at the same time, she's not soft.
That's right.
Like at one point when she breaks down, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it's really good. You
Yeah,
can tell she's been holding that in for a while.
that's right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
The scene always kind of got me the way it was shot, and then when Billy comes to help her out,
Mm-hmm.
the way it was edited right there is always kind of, kind of interesting.
They're fighting over. I mean, yeah, he got her out of that. He got her out of there. Those two have kind of decided to kind of try to look out for her a little bit, try to help.
Mm-hmm.
He's just decided to drink.
Yep.
She's oh yeah.
And I love the music, man. It's so different than
Yes.
Dawn. But I like it because it fits this, and it has a certain. It's like it's a character, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And great soundtracks or great musical scores in movies, that's what they are. Is like a character in and of themselves.
Yes, they have to support. I've only seen one movie get away with not doing it, and that was The Bird. The Birds has no score, even
Good
throughout,
point.
and no point in the movie is there any score. And I don't know how it got away with it, but it did.
Mm.
But this one, yeah, for each movie, they have their own unique, completely different score. Night, day, dawn,
Yep.
and it fits.
The Ritz.
George decided to go much more serious with this one. Dawn, he was kind of playing around. He wanted to get a chuckle a little bit out of Dawn, but this one, this is straight serious.
Yep.
Even the stuff that is kind of funny, I'm not sure it was meant to be.
Right. Yep. This was smart of them to do this, though, is to set up this little haven of sorts.
Yeah,
Try to have some type of normalcy.
some feeling of home.
Yes.
And this is for her first time in there, so they have a let. This is just for them. They don't
Yep.
let anybody else in here.
Mm-hmm.
He cuts a line in here that kind of reminds me of the Ken Foree, what he said, except for his is a lot longer. I think his is even better.
Yeah.
What he says here. We talk about God just pretty much said, "Hey, I'm tired of you trying to mess with my shit."
Yep. Yeah. This is a great monologue he gives. This is a great scene for both of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. He's just kind of telling her because she's not quite sure, and he's just like, "Look, this is what it is, man. We were
Mm-hmm.
getting too close and messing with too many things."
That's right.
That does worry me about the world sometimes. I think we're trying to learn too much.
Hmm.
Things we're not supposed to. Things we're not supposed to know.
Let go of what you got.
Yeah, he just wants to fly and not be a part of the rest of that dumb shit.
Hmm.
He's a here. You look like you use a little more.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't believe in what you're doing here.
Hmm. Yeah. And none of that shit means a thing.
That's right.
It no longer has any significance.
Hmm.
I would miss film being down there like this. I would really miss being able to watch movies. Oh man,
Me too, man.
I'd have to try to hook something up.
Yep.
Ooh, shit. Oh, way behind. Hey, Adrian, thanks for
Hey.
subbing. Appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy it. If you're liking the watch along, give us a like and let us know how we're doing. So I find it interesting that he is Dr. Frankenstein because he is studying Bub, which is very much like Carlos' portrayal of Frankenstein's monster. Yeah, it's a cool portrayal. Exactly. Had to charge your phone. Cool. Awesome. Glad you did.
Here it is. I love this part when he tells it, you ain't
Mm-hmm.
never gonna figure it out.
It's true.
Hmm.
We're just not supposed to, certain things we're not supposed to know.
That's right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
She got a hell of a responsibility on her shoulder.
Yep.
If you're talking about starting over,
That's right.
female protagonist in this film a bit stronger than the Barbie character. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we was talking about. Yet she's vulnerable too.
And I love how the music changed at this point.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is always important. That is a great point.
Hmm.
It
We've been
just
punished.
when the music changes with it,
Hmm.
good for it, it really, yeah, that is big. It can change how you feel about a scene one way or the other.
Yep. He delivered this so well.
Yeah, he means. I mean, you can tell he's had a lot of time to think about this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's too big for britches yet.
Mm.
I think that's where we are in the world.
Yep.
Even in the real world, that's where we are.
Yep. And again, man, they're really giving you all this great stuff, and it's not even with the zombies. Like it's the interpersonal stuff that's giving
Hmm.
you the sense of what it's like to be at this point in a zombie apocalypse where there seems like there's no hope.
Hmm. Romero's zombie movies were the first ones to do that,
Hmm.
and then but The Walking Dead has touched in on that a lot. But
Yep.
these were the first ones. Dawn was the first one to start doing that, and then this one really gets heavy with it.
Yep. Yep.
This is not about zombies. This movie's not about zombies. This movie's about them.
That's right.
about the people. It has to be. If it's about the zombies, it's not. You know what I mean? It has to be about the people.
Yep.
Well, the different personalities and how different people would handle shit and what kind of a human being you'd be or become in this situation.
Yep.
None of us know.
Hmm.
You'd like to think that you would, that you would do the right thing. You'd still be a good person. That you'd be strong and shit. But
That's right.
the bottom line is, if this really happened, we'd be fucking pissing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
At least to begin with, there'd be a lot of, hated how Barbara was portrayed in the remake. But actually, I found a lot of people really, really dug the way she was portrayed in the Night of the Living Dead remake. I'm kind
Yep.
of stuck somewhere in the middle. I like how she's portrayed. I don't like the actress, especially. Not that her acting is bad. Something about her I don't like a lot. I've talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Might have to do that remake just so it's just so I can talk about, just so it can be talked about because it is a good
Yep.
show. See, he's like, what?
Think
Don't
about
show off
what
a
you've
light, man.
done.
Yeah, he's getting grounded.
Yep.
Then they threw in that little bit of Dawn of the Dead music there.
Yep.
Little hint. I like that.
Bub. Never
Doesn't
be
matter
rich.
now. Doesn't matter now.
Right?
Everybody's got the same amount of money now.
Mm-hmm.
Love the original remake. They both got. Yeah, I'm just a fan of Judith O'Day. I think she, I wish she would have come up for air a little sooner so we could see her because she got strong right before her brother snatched her up and pulled her out. I'd
Yep.
like to have seen that a little longer.
Yep.
We need to directing it and help George A Romero get some royalties too. I think. Oh, I'm sure dead. George got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know. Not Living Dead's kind of owned. You know what I mean? It's kind of owned by everybody. It's like a community movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, the remakes that are good are real good. Not a lot of them that are great, but the ones that are great are really good. Remake done correctly is badass. Yeah, he's just even tops it off a little bit of the slobbering.
Yep. Yep. Salem's Lot. They always, and George was pretty slick like that though. Always referencing Stephen King and
Mm-hmm.
all of them. It was kind of cool back then, man, because they all like respected each other, and
Mm-hmm.
it was cool to knowing that legends respected and enjoyed each other's work.
Yeah,
You know.
that was his way of saying thanks for working with me on the Creep Show and such. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yep.
I mean, you get a couple of great minds like that working together, man. You can't. I
Yep.
mean, it's hard to fail.
That's right.
Now on Creep Show too, they didn't. That wasn't all completely done by King writing and Romero directing, was it? There was something else thrown in there that made it different, I do believe. That's
I
why it
think
wasn't as
so. Yep. I believe so. Yep.
that's where it wasn't quite as good. I still,
Hmm.
I mean, I still enjoy Creep Show 2 a lot.
Me too. Me too.
It doesn't get, you know what I mean? It doesn't get a whole lot of credit, but I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
I love that one. I love that one. And it's creepy too, man.
Yeah.
You know, she
He's all
just can't
smacked
get
up.
rid of him.
His face is hanging out and he goes, thanks for he don't even really have a mouth anymore.
Hmm.
Thanks for the ride. That's just, I was all about her guilt.
Yep.
He's seen this. Yeah, he's figuring it out. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. He's gonna say hello. It's crazy. That's crazy. He drops his shit. And
As
then
soon as
he
he sees it.
salutes him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm.
So either he had a lot of respect for the military or he was in the military. I think they're saying he was in.
Hmm.
You don't understand why he's not saluting back.
Right.
He's like, what's up, man? He's actually a big dude, too. I didn't really realize how big Bub was.
Hmm. This is when you find out, hey, they can use weapons.
Yeah, man, this is how this works.
Hmm.
Tom and George. They rolled the zombie rolled together. Yeah. My heart still breaks knowing George is gone yet.
Yep.
You guys think Creep Show 3? Um, I, I rented it once when it first come out, and like I know I watched it, but I cannot remember one thing about that movie.
Yeah. It's
Creep Show 3.
it's not good.
You know, that's usually not a good sign. You know, if you
Hmm.
don't remember it, you know. Now I don't remember what happens in. You know, I know it just did not. I remember thinking,
Yep. What the is wrong with you people?
I want to teach him tricks.
Oh man.
No wonder why he talks. This was his favorite role.
Hmm.
It looks like he's having fun. You know what I mean?
That's right.
They say it's fun to let loose and just be a total jerk in a role. I never really heard if he did it method or not. I'd be willing to bet he probably did. But it seems fluent.
Yeah. Seems it. Yeah.
Like he walked around being Rhodes. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It just feels method to me. He's starting to crack up. Look at his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. His eyes, man. He did such a great job with the eyes. You could just tell he was on the edge. He was over the edge.
Well, all he's seen is dead people left and right and zombies, and that's all he's working with. You know what I mean? That would wear on you.
Yep.
If I would happen to lose power, I mean, I've had a couple of flashes of my light here the last little bit. And I don't know why it's doing that.
Hmm.
I don't know why it would be. There's no storm or nothing, but it's acting funky.
Oh yeah. Here it comes, man.
Yeah,
Ugh. And then the thing snaps. It's like, oh
yeah,
crap. This poor
yeah.
guy.
and who gets blamed for it. You know what I mean? It's he's
Oh,
basically their whipping boy at this point. So who's going to get blamed?
yep. Greg Nicotero got killed.
I love the hair. That one is crazy looking.
Mm-hmm.
I always like how they try to make each one of them look individual, make them all look different.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Somebody
That's it.
changed a little more from Dawn too. He looked at Dawn and he wanted to make sure that each zombie looked completely
Yeah.
different,
Yep.
different stages of decomposition.
Wow. Don't let this
Dawn
happen to me.
Vietnam, yeah, that's where he got all his real views of dead people was in Vietnam. Shirtless in the Lost Boys too. You could tell he's never stopped training. Huh. Jerry in the chat. What's up, Jerry? Thanks for stopping
Hey.
through, man. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, please, sir. This caller snap scene, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
At first, I was thinking, what is she gonna do?
I got bit by somebody once many years ago, and I was in a bar and shit went down, and and the guy got desperate, so he bit me right here on the chin,
Oh
and it
wow.
hurt. It left a bite mark for at least a month. It was so nasty. I'd never been bit, let alone by a grown fucking man. So I can
Mm.
imagine what the chunk bit out feels like.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The guy bit me on the face, man. I found that to be so,
That's gross, man.
like you're gonna bite me, dude? Come on,
Right?
really?
I love how these guys all work together to light this torch, get it ready, and cauterize this arm, man. They
Yeah,
didn't
to
they didn't
save
play
him,
around.
because it's the only chance he had.
Yeah.
But,
Jeez.
even though he's been losing it lately, he was still doing a good job. And it wasn't his fault. But
Right.
at least he was able to pull it together to still do what he was doing. Didn't panic.
And as soon as you could hear the guys in the background, you knew some shit was gonna go down.
Oh yeah, the second that snapped and it bit one of their dudes, I knew exactly what they
Yep.
were going to be like. Like,
Yep.
oh hell, here they go. Now they're wanting to what? Kill him?
I know. It's like, hmm.
Like we took care of it. He was one of you guys. I mean, how much loyalty? How much loyalty do you not have?
Mm-hmm. Look at the look on her face, man. This is great acting by Lori. This is great.
Mm-hmm. They're making a stand. No, you're not going to kill him. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
This is our
Ooh,
house.
ooh, ooh! Everyone's got a gun,
Yeah, this is our house. Don't bring no guns to our house.
right?
They're not even making a stand for him. They're making a stand for their place, for their piece of turf. You know what I mean? That's theirs.
Yep.
Bring your guns here to our place, defending their home. Yeah, she's desperate.
Mm-hmm.
She's willing to do whatever.
Mm. We gotta blast him, Captain. Jeez, what does he care?
That's just panic. That's just fear.
Well, and also this like all that they have. You know,
Yeah,
like for steel, that's all that he's got.
yeah. That's his one function left in the world. Yep.
Yep.
Because they can't be military like they had always been. You know what I mean? So this is the closest to it. As far as
That's
they're
right.
concerned, they're in a war with anybody that's not them or agrees with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
violence, but I definitely believe in self-defense. Oh yeah, oh
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Hmm. Flyboy. Yeah, Dawn reference.
Hmm. Yeah.
And again, this scene right here where she totally breaks down. Look at the look in her face, man. This is great stuff, man. What a great
I was
acting
like she
job.
didn't do more. I wonder why she didn't do
Yes.
more.
I wish she did. I really do.
She,
And it was
yeah,
great. It was great seeing him too, trying to comfort. It was like some good stuff here with the characters.
yeah, you can tell by his face that he can see that he's never seen her like this. You know what I mean? So he's kind of
Right.
shocked. He's like, "Damn, I need to get her together because she's
Mm.
chick that's usually really strong. It's breaking down." So
Yeah.
he's surprised.
What a great scene, man. It's like you can just hear her just wailing. Like,
And
wow.
he hardly said a word, but you can see every emotion and every thought he was having just on his face.
Yes. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just great
Acting,
stuff.
acting with the eyes and everything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
What's her name on the American Next Top Model? She happened to see an episode of it. My wife used to watch it when I was married.
Hmm.
Um, and she used to watch it, and the chick on there always talked about smizing, how you got to smile with your eyes, how you got to talk with your face and your eyes without saying
Hmm.
anything. She was models, so yeah, she called it smizing.
Hmm.
It's the eyes doing all the emotions and all the talking for you.
Yep.
And that's very important in acting.
Yes.
You got to be able to say everything with your emotions, with your face.
Yep.
Bad actors, that's one thing they don't realize. So
Hmm.
instead of doing that, they try to talk louder. You know what I mean? And they try to emphasize what they're saying more to try to do it because they're just not skilled like that.
Right. But at least we gave him a chance.
Like
That's right.
each character feels like they came from somewhere else. You know what I mean? You could tell
Hmm.
each of them are from a different place.
Yep.
There's no telling, where each person's from. And like
I love that.
he's supposed to be Jamaican. How many of those have you ran into?
Right. I love that when she walked out the door, he looked at Billy and said, "Half an hour. Don't
Yeah,
fuck around." you know.
things have gotten too heavy.
Yep. And he's like, "Only giving you guys half an hour. Come back."
That might be too long.
Right. Oh my gosh! Look at that. Jeez.
Yeah, that's good stuff though.
Mm-hmm.
He really, he especially in this one, he felt obligation to bring an even bigger A game this time because he
Yep.
felt disappointed in what he gave George on Dawn, with the
Yep.
pancake makeup. So he wanted to make sure that he had all his top shit here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nicotero probably made a difference too.
Yep.
You could see his signature on some of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff that you see him doing now.
See, now listening to this recording, you see really how far gone Logan is, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's looked at as an ally, and they're not too sure. You know what I mean? He is, but you don't want your allies to be batshit crazy.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yep. Mm.
There he is.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gotten to a point where they're just like, "Don't shoot!" Yeah, that's too loud.
Right. Leave it be. Right.
it just seems so undignified. You know, it just seems so you know, like you don't feel like he's resting in peace. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the remake of Dawn of the Dead is good. Cameos, original cast too. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so Ken Foree in there saying his saying. Yeah,
Yep.
I always love to see Ken Foree.
I
He's
know,
one.
man.
He's the only one from all these shows that you still see doing a bunch of other stuff.
Yep. Well, and he just, and I love a lot of the actors in these movies, like Laurie and Terry Alexander, but Ken Foree, you could just tell in Dawn of the Dead, he was big time. He just has that special, the extra special thing going on. You know.
Yeah, I call that the it factor.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The it factor is so important, and you either have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Now, right here, um, Bub didn't bite him. It's crazy stuff. Like it was total trust, pretty much,
Yeah,
because he could have bit him.
they developed an actual relationship. You know, what I mean, he's
Mm-hmm.
actually like a father to him, or
Yep.
he respects him.
Mm-hmm. There's a love for him. We see that in a little whiles when what
Hmm.
happens to Logan happens, and Bub is sad.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh man, what
Mm-hmm.
you? I like that. What are you doing?" He's showing him. Yeah, you can turn it on.
That's right.
Man, he's back here jamming. He's like, "All right, I can do that by myself."
Mm-hmm.
He's become crazy obsessed.
Yep. And it's like, uh-oh, time for the reward. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
almost like an animal or something,
That's right.
like a pet or something.
Mm-hmm.
Give him rewards for doing tricks or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Here it comes.
shit's hitting the
Freaking
fan. Yeah,
Rhodes is just always around the corner, just waiting.
he's there.
He's always there. This is it. Mm. Mm.
Hey, you don't know good's gonna come out of this,
That's right.
especially when he's realizing that it's his men. He's feeding him his men.
I know. Like you would have thought Logan would have been more careful to hide the evidence, you know?
He just got wrapped up in it. You know, he just got crazy obsessed and stopped
Yeah.
being careful.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
Oh,
he ever gets a view of the head. Though. If
jeez.
he seen the head, he'd really be tripping.
Yep. Well, and that's the thing. Knowing how crazy these military guys are, I just would have thought he would have, you know.
Yeah, taking definite precautions.
Yes. All their guns.
You
Hmm.
know, he's already dead, man. I mean, you can kind of see his point. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, no, you do kind of see what he's saying. He's basically saying, "Hey, this guy is a butcher. He's worse than the zombies." You
yeah.
know.
He's experimenting on my soldiers, on my men. Yeah,
Hmm. No respect for the dead.
and if he ever needed an excuse, that was it.
Yep.
Because he was looking for one anyway. He's been wanting to shut them down anyway. So
Hmm.
he's a got that dictator vibe to him.
Yep.
Complete control. He's come looking for him. They've
Yep.
been gone too
John
long.
He knows something's up.
So in response, he's going to feed them to the zombies.
Hmm. Now, this part really caught me off guard when I first saw it. Hmm.
Hmm. Damn, man, he's got no choice.
Hmm.
Like, all right, crazy, let him go.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You guys weren't alive when Doctor was feeding them to him. That's the difference.
Hmm.
And he
Hmm.
knows damn well that he means to.
Hmm.
He has no doubt that he would pull his brains out. And there we go.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
See, he was surprised, yet he wasn't surprised at the same time.
Right. That caught me off guard when I first saw it. I was like, wow, he really did shoot him point blank.
Make an example, just so they wouldn't doubt him, just so they wouldn't try to buck him.
Hmm.
He didn't take this into account.
Right.
That he would act this way, that he would, that he would take people hostage and start killing them,
Right.
in, you know, oh yeah, you're not going to take us? Okay, well, I'll shoot all your people. I'll, I'll,
Hmm.
I'll, I'll shoot everybody else if you don't. He didn't think about that.
Hmm.
But this would secure it for me. There's no way I'd take him anywhere, regardless. There's nothing he could do. Once he did this, there's nothing he could do to make me take him.
Hmm.
I mean, let Steele come over and do whatever, whatever he thinks he's going to do. Still not going to take it.
Right. Because at the end of the day, he's the one with the ability to fly the copter. So he thought he really had him there when he said, if you do this, I swear you can kill me before I fly you.
We
You
can
know?
send Steele over to, yeah. Still wouldn't make me take him anywhere.
Right? Hmm.
One second. Oh.
Mm.
Unfortunately, he's not too tough.
Right.
It'd be cool seeing him jump out and do some Chuck Norris on his ass. Kick, fucking kick him right in his face. But that'd change his attitude real quick.
Hmm. Yeah. Good old Miguel.
I've been wanting to do Silent Rage on my forgotten film archive thing that I've been doing. There's a lot of them I want to do there because there's so many that are either forgotten or just underrated or just don't get
Yep.
a lot of what they deserve.
Yes.
I
Reach is
I
a
could
good
go
one.
on forever. I could go on forever doing them.
Hmm. Yeah. Bub figures it out.
Yeah,
Isn't that something?
you're like, all
The whole
right.
the whole time that it was that easy to. You almost would have thought they would have made it a little bit tougher, with the chaining up of
Yeah.
the zombies.
He just probably didn't figure that he would continue on and keep learning on his own. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He hadn't got there. He didn't need to. He's taught him to the point to where he's doing it on his own now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, zombies coming out of everywhere. Hmm. I love this part here with the shovel.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and that's just great physical. Just physical effects, no CGI.
that's right.
It shows what they can do.
That's right. And it still looks great.
Awesome. Yeah.
It still looks great.
Oh yeah. And there's the top of the head just looking around. That's a great little addition.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Take that.
Yep. Mm. And then he sees Fisher. He's like, no, I can't go that. I can't go to that level. Just killing. There's been enough death.
Yes.
And these two bozos.
Yeah, death just becomes just a regular thing. Can you imagine living day after day with just constantly surrounded by death in several different ways? It's a main part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It takes some special people,
That's right.
mentally and emotionally, to be able to live through it and be able to handle it
Yep.
and not lose it. And there's 100 different ways that you can lose it. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
these shows show that too. They show every different way that you can possibly just flip out over it.
That's right. The bats.
Yeah, oh man,
Yoo-hee.
got you happy dance. Cool. Sorry, Chuck Norris one. Yep, that's Chuck Norris.
Yep.
That's
Good old
that's one of
Chuck.
my favorites. Chuck Norris's, man. That is one of my favorites by far.
Yeah, it's a great one.
He's, I had to stick a couple of clips in my intro of Silent Rage. I had to.
It's a good one.
He's got the best like jumping roundhouse kick that I've ever seen from anybody. And we listen to split up says bah, 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 bah. That's fantastic.
Yep.
He had a few in the early 80s. It's really good. Force of
Mm.
One,
Yes, Force of One was great.
The Octagon.
Octagon. Yep. Ooh. Ooh. I love this. The zombies behind them. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man.
If they could learn to be a little quieter, they would get a lot more people.
That's right.
They'd like make an entrance.
Yep. Good old Miguel. He made a choice.
He just said, "One thinking about, but wasn't thinking about anybody else." You know what I mean? He just said, "Hell, with it, we're all done."
Yep. Yep. And it's funny
Really?
because right from the beginning of the movie, he's the one guy that it makes sense for him to totally lose it because he's shown that this whole movie that he was always ready to check out, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And in a very selfish way too, because he just decided that we're all done.
Yep.
Because once you let them in down there, you got them on both sides. That many of them, there's no way.
Hmm.
because he seen that Rhodes and all them were taken over anyway. And I think if the zombies don't come down there, I think Rhodes and them probably do take over and probably kill the rest of them.
Yes.
Oh,
Gosh, man, he's literally being eaten alive. Mm-mm-mm.
yeah, it showed that a little more. Usually it'll show him tearing or ripping the guts out or whatever first. But with
Mm-hmm.
him, he was really showing him taking bites right out of him while he was laying there.
Yep. And the it's like, can you imagine? See them coming down on the elevator.
Yeah, they're all kind of looking around like, this is interesting. All right. Look at all, it's just tons of them.
Mm-mm-mm. That's just bad news, man. I like that one that falls.
Yeah, he's a bit overzealous.
Yep. Mm.
You know, use a little golf cart and take off.
Rhodes is like gone.
Left them all, yeah. Little coward when it come right down to it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't give a shit for his men.
That's right. And it's like, where is he going? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if there's another entrance or exit, but it's like, dude, where do you think you're going?
Yeah, he just somewhere else, just in complete panic mode.
Mm-hmm.
Except Karma's about to.
That's right. Now watch this. This is telling you, man. This is such a great performance here.
Yeah. Look, see, he's wanting to show him. Look,
Yep.
see what I did? I got myself free, and I'm walking around. You see?
That's right. Yep.
He wants him to be proud,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, wait a minute, he's not moving. What's wrong with him?
Right.
Bleeding. Now's when it clicks to him that he's dead. He understands now. He showed that they can have feelings, which is something he had never really done before.
That's right.
I don't think there's ever been a zombie in any movie at this point that it had emotion like that.
Mm-hmm. And this is what a lot of people missed in 1985, and probably for several years after that. They didn't see the brilliance,
Mm-hmm.
and all the little things that these characters brought, and obviously the great work of Tom Savini. The diehard people, watched it, but the general audience, they just didn't get it at the time.
I think kept trying to compare it to because once Dawn of the Dead came out, it became like the be all end all of zombie movies, basically.
Yeah.
You had others like Zombie and everything like that, but it became the one, and they
Yep.
kept comparing. They wanted another. Everybody always wants another like a great album. Band comes out another album, they want another one like that.
Yep.
You know, until they began to appreciate it for what it is and what it brings. It was different than the last.
Right. That was a great effect, ripping them apart like that, man. That was crazy.
You know, you kind of have to make fans appreciate that you're doing something different that's just as good but different. Sometimes you got to force them to really understand that. It takes them a
Yep.
minute. That's why a lot of the greatest albums or movies ever made. Initially people didn't care for.
Yep.
Some of the very best were like that. Just
Yep.
didn't click in with. Some of my favorites, even I may not have liked to begin, but then ended
Mm-hmm.
up loving. Oh man,
Oof.
each one of these effects, each one of these people that they're doing this with, they're doing something different. Like with him, the eyeball and then the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
It's when this crazy high pitched screech comes in. That's unworldly. I don't know how that happened, but it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's one of those things that was probably, just kind of happened by accident. You dude locked you in there, man.
Yep. Hmm. Roads. Mm.
Unfortunately, I had to use those
Mm.
bullets on the floor.
Yep. And of course, they're just gonna keep piling in there. I mean, it looks like it's at least 50 of them strong. At least.
Yeah, just in this area.
Yeah.
They're probably still coming in the fenced-in area and down. They're probably still pouring in.
That's right.
The clown. That's a cool effect. He's got
Yeah.
a clown in.
Yeah. He stands out.
Here he is. He's like, yeah, I got this
Yep.
gun, man. I know what to do
Yep.
with it too. Nice aim, even.
Yeah. Wow.
He definitely shot a gun before. Plus brain bag of shit.
Come on, Dad. Mm. Should have kept an eye on the back of you. Yep. There it is. There it is.
What's your thought on him just going ahead and deciding to fuck it? You know what I mean? And taking
Hey,
that way
man.
out.
He knew. He understood the math. So there was nothing else he could do at that point.
And that bite on that neck sealed it.
Yep.
Because you can't cut that off.
Nope. Oh man. Jeez. It's still, like I said, man, the effects in this is just amazing. The practical work, still so good.
Yeah, I mean, Savini's great and all, but I think this is his best because I think it's that bit of Greg Nicotero in there with him. I think it's a combination that made it great.
Hmm.
I think a lot of these maybe are a little different without him. I mean, still great, but you
Right.
can just you can see his influence in
Hmm.
shit. Like I said, he still does today.
Yep.
Like this is a big precursor to a lot of the effects you see in like The Walking Dead. Shit like
That's right. That's right. Climb, girl, climb. Hmm.
great film and the jump ending. We should have gotten a
Ooh.
sequel. Chat with on Silent Rage. Yeah, Ninja says, speaking of Silent Zombies, if you haven't seen it, check out Night Eats the World. Yeah, I started watching that, but I had to shut it off and do something. I seen like the first 10 minutes. I still need to see it. What a way to go and get let them in. I was always like, really, dude? But thank goodness I wanted to be the female Tom Savini as a kid. He's in the make, so he was into makeup effects, like wanting to do makeup effects, Adrian. That's cool. This one says the high pitched scream is accurate to how it actually would sound because the larynx would stretch. Yeah,
Yep.
that is true.
And what a showdown this was, Bub and Rhodes.
Yeah, this is like I said. This is Brandon's favorite part. This just cracks him up.
Mm.
Here, yeah, the way he starts going down, like when he's dropping down to a knee and going along the side of the wall.
Yep.
Uh,
Mm.
Cause he shot him right in the back or whatever, didn't he?
Yep. Right in the shoulder. Mm.
There you are. Are you the one that killed my daddy? Must be you.
You're back. Got him
Here,
again.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. This, this is yeah. It's really good the way he does this.
Yep.
Some good physical acting.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Defiant until the end. Here we go. There
Yep.
it is.
Come on. Mm.
Still, yeah. Oh shit.
Dude, when he
There we
look
go.
at all the zombies.
And then he's got the other end of the hallway still shooting him.
Yep.
He's there. Take that, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
Here's a salute. Here's a salute for you. Have a nice.
Mm-hmm. And when Joe did this scene, when they ripped him apart, man, he had to lay there for hours with all that, like I think it was pig intestines and all that. And he said it was so disgusting and rank. All the
Yeah,
zombies, they had to be right there too. Oh,
yeah, because that's actual entrails. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Joke on
Choke on him. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
they're dragging the lower half down the hallway for something. They're gonna pull it down there and munch on it.
right. And of course, you had to have this scene where they're just, having Thanksgiving, you know.
Yeah. Fighting over the intestines and everything else. Here, you take that
Mm,
side. No, listen. Hey, you got more than me.
yep. Ugh.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
there you have this. This is smorgasbord. They're having a great time. Like man,
Mm,
we've been trying to get in here forever. We knew there was some good shit in here.
right.
Definitely. These two with my little brother, we made. Come on, man, what's up? Not that it's screwed up. I'm trying to read it, Adrian. Okay. Oh, why is you not doing it, man? Anyway, she says,
Look,
definitely I used to with my little brother. We made a zombie home movie together. It was great. I did my own stunts too. I was the zombie. That's awesome.
right.
Blood covered one. I loved it.
And all of those zombies
Well,
are
talking
heading
to you tonight,
towards the
Adrian.
copter.
Yeah, that famous line too. Yeah, joke on.
Mm,
He says, "Sorry, all got a bail. Work is getting hectic. Enjoy. Take it easy, man. Thanks for joining
yeah.
us.
Catch you
Appreciate it."
later, man. Yeah, I love that jump scare right at the end, and then she wakes up, and it was so reminiscent of the beginning of the movie.
Right. Like I said, that right there to me is one of the first ever actual jump scares. You know what I mean? We wasn't used to seeing that back then, but that should happen. People jump.
Mm-hmm.
That part at the very beginning, I know I
Yep.
did. I was like, whoa,
Yep.
because there was nothing, no indication at all that that was going to happen.
Yeah,
Now they use it too much.
that's right. 4 days. 4 days on the beach.
Into November, yeah, awesome,
Yeah, man.
very very cool.
It's a great movie,
Always great.
man. Yeah.
Um, so we've finished the trilogy. We could go sometime in the future. We can go even further. We could do land or all that. You know, we could always something we could always talk about if you want.
Yeah, man. Like I said, there's some good stuff in land. Um, and like we talked about before too, survival. Survival has some really interesting things too, you know.
Diary, diary as well. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
diary is terrific.
diary. Yeah, you know what? I keep saying survival, but it was diary we talked about, not survival.
But
Yeah, diary. That's what I meant.
it's very unique, man. He really went. he really tried something different. He kind of started over, and he wanted to do it like
Yes.
a found footage type thing, and I enjoyed it. I mean, there's a lot of people shit on it, but I like it
Hmm.
just for what it is.
Yeah, me too.
Um, so yeah, that's something we can talk about. Do you have any thoughts or anything?
About this movie, Day of the Dead.
Yeah, just any thoughts now it's over. I mean, anything you want to
Yeah,
touch
I
on
mean,
or anything?
well, I'll tell you what, man. Like I said, I've seen this movie. Excuse me, so many times. There was a time period where, especially when I got into it, as a yeah, when I saw it as a kid, I didn't appreciate it as much. I mean, I thought it was pretty good, but I was, like I said, I was still kind of in that dawn mode. But when I got
Right,
older, like when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, I reconnected with it. And I was at a point where I used to put Day of the Dead on all the time, like all the time. Sometimes, like, even if I wasn't like watching it the whole time, just so that I could hear it or whatever, just have it on TV. And, but, anyways, long story short, I think it's a great movie. It really, really is. And I think it's very unique in its place, especially in the original trilogy. Um,
hmm,
and doing this watch party, like we talked about it, so many great moments with these characters, these actors, just the little things, like you said with Terry Alexander, the look on his face when he was trying to comfort Sarah. Just
yeah,
little moments like that a lot of people they definitely didn't notice in 85, and it's taken a
right.
long time for these actors and these characters to get their due, especially Bub. Just amazing stuff. But yeah, this is a great movie, man. I really enjoyed it, and being able to talk about it and just to pay attention to the little things, with you, it's just great, man. And I think it'll always stand the test of time because, like you said, just those little extra things, with Nicotero and Savini and the crew working together, and it's great,
Right.
man. All those effects, they still look good, man. This movie is from 1985. It's crazy to think, but
It's aged
yeah,
really well,
it really
very well.
has.
The effects still
Yeah,
stand up. It's proof that you don't, you know what I mean, that you can still do it with physical effects. It just takes the love and the work.
that's
Um,
right.
and like you were saying, that's one thing that's never mentioned about this movie is the acting performances. And there's three main acting performances. I mean, four with the doctor, but the three main ones, man. The Terry Alexander, like he was talking about the look he got. That look when she was breaking down, that look was basically of, oh my God.
Yep.
I really, you know what I mean? And you could tell it's something he had never seen from her before. So he was
Hmm.
surprised. He was just blown away. He was like, wow,
Yeah.
I need to be there for her.
Yeah.
And then you got her performance, it's just crazy. She is
Yeah.
so good in it. I'm surprised we didn't see her more. And of course, Flo, that's the one that's always talked about.
That's right.
He's got some famous lines and everything. This one didn't get as much love, but like I said, here lately, at least the last 2 or 3 years, I've heard a lot of people talking about how they prefer this one over any of the other two.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Yeah.
so it's grown. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It is, man. It really is. It's again, it's a bleak look at the zombie apocalypse. You
Yeah,
really feel the hopelessness. And I think it was cool that George ended it on the beach because it's
right.
kind of a good ending. You literally have three survivors on the beach and whatever. He
Yeah,
had to do it that way, man, because the movie was so damn dark from the beginning all the way out. He had to have a, a happy ending, so to speak, or at least some type of a somewhat hopeful ending, which I thought was smart on his part as a director. But yeah, man, I love this movie so much. I really do. It
they
always
finally
makes.
added. Go
What
ahead.
was that?
Well, I was just you was talking about the beach. I was talking about
Mm,
it always been insinuated that you go to a beach. That's where you need to go because that's where the zombies aren't. and
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. Yeah, I got what you were saying about that because that's where they were. They were on. They flew out to an island on their own, and they were starting over on and that. So yeah, I totally see what you're saying there. It's insinuated in all of them. We need to go to an island. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I love how that one ended with them on. So yeah,
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We actually see them get, to the island, and yeah. Whereas like with Dawn, we don't know. They just flew off. They didn't have a lot of fuel, and we never saw it. But in this one, we saw them get to the island, and they were there for at least 4 days. But one thing
yeah,
I've always wondered is, you know, I wonder how it would have been if this was successful in its theatrical run. Because George really thought it was gonna, do something. And I'm just wondering what would have happened if it was successful. Would that have fast tracked him for the next movie, and would he had more at his disposal and more studio backing and stuff like that? It would have been interesting to see how that would have played out.
yeah. Unfortunately, didn't get to because I think it actually, as far as the release goes, I think if it gained any money, it didn't gain much. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it actually kind of lost some money.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't get to delve into what you were talking about and building on what that left off.
Right.
So
Yep.
yeah, that would have been very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always
Yeah,
interesting how these things play out, man. It's just like, it could just be one little thing that changes the course of history for these franchises or these actors or these directors or these characters, And yeah, it's really interesting. Really interesting.
yeah. Unfortunately, you don't get to when you don't make a whole bunch of shitload of money back on it. They're not going to back you to follow it up. You know what I mean?
That's
So
right.
when you're like George, you're not rich. He never got to be millionaire rich, so he
Mm-hmm.
always had to count on that.
Yep. That's right.
Here's a there's the Dr. Tongue I was telling you about.
Oh, nice. That is cool, man.
Then here is Bub, and he's got the headphones on. He's got like a heart in his hand. He's holding the tape recorder. He's even got a bucket or that down on the floor.
Oh, that's cool. I love the headphones.
Yeah, they even come off.
Oh, they
These two
do.
figures, yeah, these two figures were from a company called Amok Time.
Nice.
Really, yeah, very very cool. I got some other editions. We start off with Night of the Living Dead. I won't keep you too long. Just wanted to kind of since we finished off this trilogy. This is a media book, Night of the Living Dead. It's a German media book.
Nice.
This is of course the Criterion release, Blu-ray. They just announced a few weeks ago they're coming out with the 4K on Criterion. This is from Japan. Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, wow. From Japan. Wow.
This is my first one. This is a really good release of it. This is on DVD, but it's like the 40th anniversary. And then I
Nice.
got a 50th anniversary that's got a full book in it and everything.
Oh, I love
It's
that.
loaded. It's loaded. Here, I'll show you this book really quickly if I can get the thing off. Yeah, this was a 50th anniversary edition. It came with that Criterion. It's all kinds of stuff. But I wanted to show you this book. This book is insane. Here is a book, the book to it, and it tells the whole story. You got all that.
Wow. Oh, that's cool, man.
It's got the whole, yeah. It even goes into a little more detail. It's the whole graphic novel.
Nice.
Um, Dawn of the Dead. Here is this is the Italian Argento cut. I'm trying to show it my
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yep. Yeah, I've got that
Here's
one.
the Midnight Classics of Dawn of the Dead. I've got the Arrow window slit too. This is the Ultimate Edition of Dawn of the Dead. I mean, these are ridiculous what I have. Man. This is the
Nice.
Japanese release of Dawn of the Dead, and then of
Cool.
course the very popular Second Sight, the one that's got all of the stuff in it.
Nice.
It's got,
Yeah, that one is
it's got,
sweet, man.
it's got yeah, this one it has two books. It has what, three, four copies on 4K of it. It's got it's got two discs full of the entire soundtrack, including the Goblin on one disc and all the mall stuff on the other.
Wow.
Um, Here is the remake. I haven't got it on Blu-ray yet. Diary of the Dead we was just talking about. I'm
Yeah,
going through
man.
the whole thing, but I'm about done. We just watched this version of it, which is the Screen Factory edition of Day of the Dead.
Yeah, that's the one
Here's
I've
the old,
got.
here's the old DVD, the first one that I had. It's got all this stuff in it, including a book where they wrote down notes where they talked about the movie.
Nice.
And then my Windows slip of Day of the Dead, and like I said, I got Dawn just like it, but I won't stretch you out on all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's how much I like to celebrate George in this original trilogy. Just wanted
Yeah,
to show all
man.
that off and finally show those to you and everybody else watching.
That's some
Um,
awesome stuff, man. With those
thank
Japanese
you.
versions though, what are there any particular features that really stand out that are like really super cool?
Um, Not really. This has got a booklet with it, and it's
Hmm.
got different little things right here. This cut, it's kind of hard to read, but there's a director's cut, there's an extended cut, there's a theatrical cut. It's basically all the same stuff that you
Hmm.
get with the American, or the second sight that comes from UK, or you know what I mean.
Yep.
I
Yep.
I I just like to collect all the editions.
Yep.
Here, I'm not doing fast like. Here's the Dawn of the Dead, my Arrow window slip.
Yeah, man. That is cool.
I hate to blow a surprise, but you'll be receiving one just like this.
Ah, hey, man. That's all right.
That's
That
what I'm
is
going to
very.
be. It's boxed. It's got the address on it and everything. This is this went out of print in 2009, 2010. It's got three to four different cuts. It's got loads of special features on it. This is what I've been talking about sending you forever. Is my second version of this. It's just like so.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Much appreciated. But yeah, I mean, when you have a movie that's just so amazing like that, it's so cool when you have the different cuts and everything is put together in the package. Like very cool. Like myself, I've only got I think I've got I might have four different versions of Dawn of the Dead. You know, I've got the DVD, I've got the Argento cut, and then I know I've got at least one or two collectors myself. But it's a fantastic film. You know, it's worth it. It's so awesome. You know,
But but you don't have this cut.
no, nope.
Well, this right here, this was the factory that was putting this out. No one knows exactly how many of these there are, because the factory that was making them burned down. So whatever they had already put out, that's it. So no one knows exactly how many there is on the planet. They figure
Wow.
somewhere around 1,000, maybe 1,000 tops.
Hmm.
So
Awesome stuff, man.
um, so but yeah, just in celebration and just in appreciation of doing this trilogy, I just wanted to kind of send that as a token of my appreciation and my friendship to you.
Thanks,
Um,
man. I appreciate it. This was, like I said, man, talking about George like this, um, it's really special, and and I've never gotten a chance to do it. So, it's and of course you being, I mean, I don't know anyone that has that type of reverence for George, to that level like you. So that's what makes it special to me as well. Because it's like, I mean, each time we've done this, like when we did Night and even on Dawn, we just kept going because we just have so much, appreciation for him in these movies. So it's awesome, man. It really, really is. And it's well deserved. These movies and George and everyone behind the camera, in front of the camera, Tom Savini, they've just created some stuff that has stood the test of time, man. You're talking about since the '60s with Night of the Living Dead. You know, it's just
you're,
crazy to think about it like that.
yeah, you're really the only one that I've really shared these with, besides like my son. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
and now my younger son, my 15-year-old. and then me and you talking about them on here. So I look forward to maybe getting into some of the others and talking about the good points of them too.
Yeah,
So
man, I definitely think that'd be a good idea because, like you said, Land has some good moments, and Diary was definitely, like I said, when I first saw Diary, I was like, wow, I really respected George for taking that risk, and kind of being very modern, with his approach in that story, the way it was told. So yeah, that'd be
definitely
fun, man.
cool, awesome. Um,
Yeah,
to talk to you for just a second here. Once we get off here, thanks to everybody that's watched this trilogy with us, and thanks for giving us both all your love and your attention. I appreciate it, and I know Knight
yeah,
definitely does. Um,
absolutely.
and we finished it off, but there's still left to go. So we'll talk about it. Everybody have a good night. Thank you so much. Like I said, um, leave a like, hit that little bell. Much love to everybody. That is Night from Nightwatch Zone. I am GoreAphobe, and you know what? You're definitely not.